Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. I am working in a garden today. We had terrible wind about 2 weeks and non-stop almost, so my garden is pretty much in a mess at the moment, which I need to go clean up, but we had a break from the rain, and so I wanted to get out and get a couple of things done very quickly, but also share with you what I'm doing, and then hopefully this afternoon or tomorrow I'll start maybe, cleaning all these twigs and debris that, the wind just kind of threw everywhere in the flower beds. So anyway, today I'm working in this bed here. This is kind of a problem area for me a little bit because there's lots of roots. You can see this bed is under this big pine tree, and I think it is pine. I'm not exactly sure. Correct me if you're familiar with this tree. But there's lots of roots, and some areas are very shallow, and some areas I can maybe dig a little bit and kind of, be able to plant some things around, but for most part it's very difficult. However, in this part of the area, you can see I planted peonies when I was digging in the beginning of the time, trying to create a flower bed. I had a nice fluffy kind of a soil where I was able to plant my peonies and some other things. Then what happened with this bed was that I was putting compost here, adding more compost. Then we had birds. Our birds are very aggressive here, so they came in, they start picking through all the compost and throwing all on these white rocks, and I just was like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? I decided to go ahead and plant some kind of a ground covers to kind of keep the birds away from the edge where they don't make a big mess here. So I planted a creeping jenny. You can see I have a creeping jenny here. So creeping jenny is beautiful. I absolutely love it. However, they took over the entire place. You can see some of them. I started removing. They went all the way there and covered the entire area. So what I did, and honestly, it kind of became a problem for me because first they were kind of choking everything else around, and the other issue with that was that there is lots of bark, and like you can see, this tree just kind of drops lots of bark, needles, and also during the fall, there's lots of leaves here from the trees that I need to clean, and so it became a real big problem to blow all the time and try to gather all of this stuff and clean up from the creeping jenny. And so I decided to just go ahead and get rid of creeping jenny. So I started cleaning all of them out. As you can see, I left creeping jenny just about this far. I'm thinking to leave it maybe just on the edge and try to control it here. However, I haven't really decided yet. I'm thinking could be that eventually maybe I'll just remove it completely and maybe plant a whole bunch of campanulas on the edge, because this side here doesn't get a lot of sun. So the sun kind of starts, we have morning sun on this side, and then sun arrives this way in the afternoon. We actually get hot sun here, hot afternoon sun here. However, I don't think it stays very long time. I think it just briefly kind of comes through here and goes. So I'm thinking this is probably a really nice place to have campanulas, and I love the campanula color. They bloom really well in my area. And so anyway, decided to maybe plant some dahlias here. So here, let me show you what I have. So I'm going to plant dahlias, and I'm also going to plant something new this time around, which I've never had before. It's called hardy gloxinia. In French, it's called Incarcerate de la Veille, and I think this Latin name is also in English, pretty similar when I looked at it, but it's also called hardy gloxinia. It looks really pretty because it has a nice deep kind of colored trumpet-like flowers, and also look, their foliage looks like a fern, so it's very pretty. And I think they go up about 40 centimeters tall, and I think it's gonna be gorgeous because they will be kind of a clumps, you know, will bring a nice color here. They also like morning sun, afternoon shade. This is the first time I'm working with this plant. Really excited to try something new and different, kind of go out of my comfort, you know, the plants that I actually love, and kind of expand a little bit. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I've also planted some on the other side with a kind of a dappled shade. Also, I have a few dahlias here. And I have to say, this one called Rose Caliber, I think, was Caliber, and then this one called Cactus Nun. These two I planted last year, and I absolutely adore it. So this one has sort of almost neon-y kind of neon yellow pink kind of look to it. It's very pretty, large flowers. I adored it. And so anyway, and they don't go very tall, they're not very tall, so they go up to, I think it's like 50 centimeters, or no, this one goes to 100 centimeters. They're okay, so they don't go terribly high, and it's easy to control. They didn't really fall over, and I didn't needed lots of staking, which I really prefer that way. The staking is not one of my favorite things to do in the garden, I have to say, and so I do it because I have to, but I don't really like it that much. So I prefer to plant things that are not falling over all the time, and I think this is just going to be really pretty. So these guys like the sun, and I thought maybe I can group these ones just around here, because we will have a hot afternoon sun, but I'm hoping it's not going to be here enough to really damage the plants. Maybe they would just kind of pass through. So also, I was digging, which I will update you what's going on at the Pergola project. It's a really big project. I've been digging there and backfilling, and I'll show you everything in a moment. But what I decided to do is bring a bunch of the clay soil that I dug from the Pergola area and fill in here to kind of give a nice kind of clay soil here, because I have been keep adding compost here. As you can see, it's on the bottom. It's really nice, but it doesn't hold enough water to keep it moist, so it dries very quickly. So I thought what I'm going to do is bring some of this soil and mix in well, and then after my planting is all done, I'll just go ahead and cover it with the compost and just kind of let everything mix in. But because there are roots under here, everything drains very quickly and gets dry very quickly. So for the dahlias, they don't like sitting in the water, of course. They like to be drained, but I think this is just too much. So hopefully this clay soil will hold a little bit of a moisture to keep them from drying. So anyway, long story, but this is the whole idea behind what I'm doing here. So I was trying to explain, and hopefully this situation can help one of you guys if you have this sort of a issue or this sort of a problems in your garden. So this is kind of how I'm trying to deal with. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and try to plant. I have an iris here, but I think what I should try to do, and this is what it's called. Cyanthus, I think. I forgot the name. I will look it up. I think Cyanthus. They get really tall and they get very wide. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this here or not, but so far it's acclimating and finally trying to do something. It's been here for a while, so I might just let it be and see what happens. So I have a really nice kind of a peachy apricot color with a beautiful pink, and I thought maybe I can have 2 and 3, maybe one of those purple ones here. Maybe I can do all these 3 here. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but it should be okay. So if I can maybe just do like that in this area, and then I'm thinking maybe this purple one I can try in between these two peonies. And I can't even remember, honestly. It's been almost 5 years since I planted these peonies. I know this one is Dutel. This one, I think it's the Red Charm. These ones, I can't even remember what they are. Totally forgot. They're herbaceous, but I don't know what they are. I can't remember what I planted. We'll see when they bloom. Anyway, and then I'm hoping this beautiful Gloxinias, maybe I can just kind of bring them, you know, around this area here. Hopefully, even if later I decide to remove this and actually go with the campanulas, I can still go around the edges, and hopefully these guys will be just here. So we'll go ahead and get this planted. We'll see. I'm excited. We'll see how it goes. It's all about trying different things and seeing how all comes together. And if it doesn't work, maybe it's too much sun, then I just have to remove them and, you know, plant them somewhere else. Hopefully I have plenty of places. So I always use my what it's called, like a bone meal fertilizer, but it's actually blood, bone, and fish, I think. And I have good success with that. I love it. Usually I just plant with my bulbs with that. Hydrangeas, this guy has a tuber. It's kind of like, their tubers look like dahlias. Look, kind of this is what they look like. So 1, 2, and I think there's 3 in a package. Okay, I'm going to dump all of this in my soil. So these plants really have a very interesting character, because they also can be repellent to the moles or voles, I think. If you have issues with the mole or voles in your garden, these are good repellent. They really don't like the smell of the roots, what I was reading about. So anyway, had I known about this when I used to be in Colorado, I would have probably it would have been very helpful for me at the time, because I did have those issues. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get this started here. So we'll just do that. Okay, so it's all planted. I watered it. I think I'll just keep it moist until they start blooming. I think this is going to be really pretty, having these 3 colors complement each other and come up. So, and we sit here a lot, so I think this is just going to be really pretty areas, you know, we can see from our patio while we are sitting. And so, and these are my favorite ones. So I kind of decided, okay, I think I need to bring them a little closer so I can always see it walking by or sitting here. So my next thing I have to do today is trim my microphylla hydrangeas, big leaf ones, and I can show you how I'm doing that. Then I need to trim my intersectional peony, and I can show you how to do that in the spring. So here we go. So this one is my a big leaf hydrangea. So these guys got a little bit of frost when they were already, you know, it was warm, they started growing. Then we had frost, and so it kind of damaged a little bit, but it's fine. You can see it's all healthy and doing well. So microphyllias usually they bloom on an old wood, so it's not recommended to trim in the spring. Some people say they trim it and it's fine, but you know, that's just the rule. I don't trim my hydrangeas unless I have to control the size of it. You know, they're not really that big for me to really, you know, to control the size or anything like that. So basically, I'm just removing the stems that are dead already, or you know, they're damaged, or you just want to shape them, you know, you can do that as well. But usually what I do is I just cut all the flowers in the fall. Usually I like to do most of my cleanup in the fall, because in the spring I have a lot going on, and I don't want to leave lots of work for me in the springtime. So I, you know, throughout winter I just clean everything out. Then in the springtime, I just come in and look to see how everything looks, and then kind of do my spring trimming. And so here, what I'm going to do is, you can see this is where it's growing already. That means this part right here is already dead. So I'm going just to remove it. And if you are not sure, the best thing to do is just trim just a little bit like that, just to double check, make sure if it's dead or not, if you're not sure. That way you're not taking the entire branch thinking it's maybe dead. Like, I can see that this one needs to come out because there's nothing growing, but let me just try a little bit here. Just, you see that? So that's dead. I don't want to, so I'm going to remove the entire thing like that. So this one is dead. Oh, see, I made a mistake. So I need to have my glasses anymore doing this. So here I can just trim that. I can see that that's dead. Okay. Okay, I think this concludes the trimming of the Microphylla hydrangea big leaf for the springtime. You can see it's looking really nice. There is more growth coming from the centers. This is a new growth, but they will bloom on an old wood. So usually when you trim them early in the spring, then you have to be careful because you will basically remove their flowers. So it is better to not trim them hard in the springtime. Basically just clean it up, and look how nice it looks. It really appreciates a little cleaning. And so this is my spring trimming for the hydrangea. Now let's go ahead and trim my intersectional peony, and I'll show you how to trim that in the springtime. Let's go this way, and look at all my hyacinths are looking so good. Look at this beautiful hydrangea. I love this hydrangea. It's a white hydrangea. It's a big leaf, Microphylla, but look at this new growth of the leaves. Look how beautiful they are. I keep walking by this hydrangea, and I can't help myself but notice how beautiful the leaves are. Okay, so look at this enormous Coral Louise Ito peony. Some people say Ito, some people say Ito. I used to say Ito, and then I heard people say Ito, so it's named after Ito Toichi, Japanese botanist. And so anyway, this is getting really big, which is very exciting, but now I have to trim it. So in the fall, when I trim these intersectional peonies, you don't trim them like herbaceous peonies, as I've probably talked about this a few times in my videos. And I also have a video that shows the fall trimming of these peonies. So what I do in the fall, I just come and basically clear out the green foliage and remove all of that, and I compost them. Then I just leave everything, because you can see for intersectional peonies, they come out on a wood. So then in the springtime, you have to see where the eyes are coming from, because in the fall, you will not see this. So if you remove all of this woody part of the shrub, basically, or peony, then you will lose all this beautiful growth and the flowers, and actually it will not do well. And so you have to wait until, like for the cold climates, wait until May. In my climate, I'm at zone 8B, I think. You know, now it's the time, because you can see it's already growing, and you can see where the eyes are coming out, so it tells me exactly where I need to trim. So you can see, like this guy, we already know that this doesn't have eye anymore. So this is the last eye on this branch. So what I'm going to do is just trim this guy. So that's dead already. Then we need to make sure that be very careful with the eyes, because if you damage the eyes, you will damage your flowers and won't have any. So then okay guys, so so I got this trimmed. As you can see, I took out a whole bunch of dead branches from here, and you can see there's a lot coming out from the ground, so you have to be careful when you go into it to cut the dead ones from the closer to the soil, because there's new ice coming out also at the same time, as you can see the ones on the branches. But don't let it go too long. You can see what it looks like now. This is the time to prune, because if they start really opening, it will be lots of flower buds. It just will be impossible to trim them. So trim it while it is at this stage. You will be fine. So anyway, this is the trimming of the intersectional peony. This is a coral Louise. I can't wait to see the flowers this year. It's going to be great. They're so beautiful. Intersectional peonies are my favorite ones of all. So anyway, let's go. Let me show you my daffodils. They're looking incredible right now. So I'll show you those, and then a couple of pretty things that are growing in a garden. I think there is a magnolia that is opening now, Magnolia Suzanne. I'll give you a quick tour of what I have been doing in the garden, and then we'll just wrap it up after that. So let's go, and I'll show you my daffodils are absolutely gorgeous. And I don't know what the name of these daffodils are, because when I planted them, honestly, I wasn't planning to do videos, but they are coming up and they're naturalizing really well. So this year, they're just glorious. Look at how beautiful they are. And oh, this one, I don't know if it's broken. So, and these are my vanilla press hydrangea, no, vanilla Sunday hydrangeas that we planted last fall. I'm really excited. They're all coming out really well. So you can see like all it's budding. Very pretty. I'm really excited this year. It's going to look really nice. And I removed some irises from here last fall. With the hydrangeas this year, should be really pretty. This is a nice sunny spot for them. So I'm expecting lots of blooms. But this just looks so good right now. Let me show you what I've been doing here. If you're familiar with this area of my garden, so I have a bunch of hybrid tea roses planted here. They're called rock and rolls. They're really pretty. They're bicolor. And so here, I think it used to be old trees, which has been cut by the previous owners, and because of that, there's lots of roots underneath. Although I amended the soil, it just wasn't enough soil, so I decided, since I have lots of soil by my pergola area where I'm removing, I actually decided to bring that soil and take advantage of that situation and backfill this wall. And so you can see I backfilled all of this just last couple of days. Really, I've been working to get this done because I want to plant this planter with a whole bunch of dahlias and some I have some good gladiolas that you probably see me planting in my next few videos coming up. And then I'm going to repair this wall. I think there is something here in French called crépi. It's kind of a plaster, basically. What I have to do, just come in with the plaster and also paint it with the color of our house, which that's my hopefully plan for this summer. I have lots going on, and also this wall. So this is my agenda, to get at least this part done this spring and summer. There's a lot here. And so anyway, I backfilled. I still need to amend more. I think I'm going to bring and put some manure and maybe more compost, mix it up really well, loosen a little bit, and then I can go ahead and plant all my bulbs. And then the same thing I'm going to do in this area as well. If you remember, I have framboisine, paniculata hydrangeas, 3 of them, but I'm also going to plant some more dahlias here and bring some nice color, because I love looking this area from my kitchen window. It's going to be beautiful, and hopefully this is all we removed from the garden this year, this fall. So we're going to take this, and actually twice a year they bring a big bin here in our neighborhoods for our people who are working in their gardens. We're waiting for that bin to actually get rid of all of this stuff. So anyway, that's that. Let's go this way just really quick. I'll show you my wisteria. I just finished trimming the wisteria. I really didn't want to tackle this project because it was like, oh, I didn't feel like getting in there, and I kind of got there a little later than I should have, but because it was already starting to bud, and I'm like, all right, I need to go ahead and get this done. But it's looking really nice right now. I asked George, maybe he can help me to move this, hold it like towards the wall a little more, so it doesn't come out too much. Maybe from here, I'm not sure yet. But this wall needs to be repaired, so I don't want to put too much emphasis here until maybe in the fall we can remove everything, get this wall done. Then hopefully we can properly train it on a wall. But for right now, it's looking gorgeous. A ton of flower bulbs flower buds that are on it right now. Will be a ton of flowers on it, and then hopefully in one point my idea is kind of training this wisteria maybe over the terrace. We'll see. That's kind of what I honestly would love to see, but I'm kind of scared to bring climbers too much on a house because I'm worried, how if we have to repair the walls behind it, it's always kind of tricky, so I kind of shy away from it. But I think it's going to look really nice. I kind of like to start training. It should be easy to train on it if we can have proper support put right here. So we'll see. That's a future project. Let's go up there by the pergola. I can show you really quick what we've been doing there and our plans, and then we'll just wrap it up today. So first I wanted to show you this fairy magnolia. As you remember in my last videos, up here we planted 3 more of these, but this one is white. We actually planted a pink blush one. But this is what it looks like, and it has that beautiful sweet aroma when you walk by. It's beautiful. This is one of my absolutely favorite trees, I have to say. They are not super big flowers, but they're very sweet, and they're medium sized. They're not very small. It looks really pretty. And even before they open, I love their buds because they're kind of brown, velvety looking. They have a like veloury kind of texture to them, and it just brings that ornamental kind of interesting look to the garden even before they start opening. So they actually develop their buds in the fall, and so I have those beautiful brown interest on the tree the entire year and before they even start opening. So let me show you my other magnolia, and then we'll just go this way. And look, my tree peonies are already budding and it's actually getting ready to open. This year they are doing really good. These guys, there is 3 of them here. They were very tiny when I planted about 5 years ago. It's so amazing to watch them develop into this size. Look at that. It's looking so good this year. I'm like, I can't wait for them to open. Very excited. My clematis are coming around, doing really good. Clematis, but just, I'm realizing more and more that they need a little time to develop, but they're doing really good, coming around. Here you can see my Magnolia Suzanne is starting to open. It really shot out this big shoot last fall, I think, like last summer, fall, and even it started opening. It was kind of funny. I was like, why are you blooming this time of a season? But it did. Maybe it was just really happy. I really don't know, but it's looking really good. I love that bright, deep color. So I'm hoping for this to kind of fill up this area and just look glorious when it opens. So let's go and I'll show you what's happening in a pergola area, and then we'll finish today. This is a mess, this project, I tell you. So this is how much I worked. There's my coffee still sitting here. And it's my coffee. So I am trying to work a little bit every day as much as possible. And so you can see I'm shaping what I really want this place to look like. And then you can see anything else. But after that, it's going to be gardens. But George and I actually were looking at this morning, and he suggested maybe we just need to really lift this up. It's going to be a crazy project, but he told me he's going to help me to lift this up a little bit, make it a little bit taller, which would be, I think, so much better. We just need to get that done. It's not a fun project, but we have to get it done. And then you can see how it's coming along. I actually really like it. I wasn't sure I was going to shape it this way, but as I was digging, I was like, you know, this is going to be really interesting to curve it a little bit versus to make it square. And so it's kind of hard to tell what it's going to be like at this stage, but maybe you can approximately kind of get an idea of what's going on. But this has been what I've been working on lately. This has been my main focus. And as I was digging, I was also backfilling the wall. Is where I showed you that I want to plant dahlias and some colorful things, maybe some annuals and some bulbs. Hopefully in the fall I want to plant some tulips and daffodils and things like that, hyacinths. And so I was excited to get that project done at the same time. Anyway, guys, this is all for today. I already talked too much, and hope you liked that. Have a wonderful week. Please don't forget to subscribe to my videos. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.